Welcome back to the channel. Unconformed here. Liverpool go 8 points clear, man. What more can you say? And, I usually come into these videos hype. I usually come into these videos very excited. And you guys know how I am and how much I love this club and how much I believe in this team and I believe in this manager. But I'm going to rant a little bit in this one. I'm going to rant a little bit in this one, man. Because how can a team do what they're doing? I mean, listen, we're 8 points clear. This is the only second team ever in Premier League history to be 8 points clear at this point. Arne Slot is only one of three managers to get to the point tally that he's at within the first 12 games. He's breaking record after record right now, and he could do something that only four other managers have done in Premier League history, which is win a title on his first try. This would be normal for Manchester City. This would be normal even if this was Chelsea. This would be normal if this is Arsenal. But for some reason, because it's Liverpool, I see cracks. Oh, there's only a matter of time before it falls apart. How about no? How about this is actually a really good team that's really well coached with a great manager that knows how to get results no matter what. There's going to be a lot of people that nitpick this result. And there's going to be a lot of Liverpool fans that nitpick this result. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But you have to look at the context of the game, right? We're coming after, you'll take this result. You're coming after an international break. It's away. It's a rainy, dreary night against a bottom half team that has everything to prove, everything to gain, nothing to lose. And you have everything to prove, nothing to gain, and everything to lose coming into this game, especially with your rivals dropping points and everyone saying, oh, it's only a matter of time before Liverpool start giving it in, and your own supporters aren't even 100% believing. And you have so much trauma and you have so much PTSD from the previous seasons that, it's only a matter of time before City start putting results together. They just lost 5 matches in a row. That has never happened to Pep Guardiola in his entire history of being a manager, yet we still don't have the belief as a fan base, as an overall, that we can win this. The most successful English team in history, their fans don't believe that they can go get a title this season. And I know there's a ton of you that do believe that. I would advise you guys that are on the fence to start standing behind this team and believing right now. That's what I would do. Yes, we're 13 games in, 14 games in. Yes, I get that. It's November. But when do you start deciding to be a fan is my main question. So I know I usually am super Mr. Positive on here. I come on here and I'm a good force of good energy and stuff like that. But it drives me crazy when I read some of the comments and I see some of these Liverpool fans who claim to be fans and they're saying, it's only a matter of time before it falls apart. Don't speak too soon. Don't speak too soon. No, I'm going to speak right now because I believe in my team. And if this is Manchester City, say we flip-flop positions and Manchester City go 8 points clear at this time, what are you saying? What are you saying? You're probably saying title race is over. If Arsenal went 8 points clear and our positions were flip-flopped and we were the ones that were behind them 8 points and City were in Arsenal's place, you'd be saying Arteta's doing it this year. But because it's Arne Slot, someone that doesn't have a huge name, someone that hasn't been in the Premier League for very long, unproven in our league, with the same team that has done really well last season. So I don't really get that whole narrative that this team still needs improvement and things like that. Yes, do we need reinforcement? Sure. But if the roles are reversed in some of these other teams, you'd be saying the title race is over. Would you not? So I need you to start giving your boys a little bit more credit for what they've been able to do. These players are out there putting it on the line for this new manager, man, and playing some of the best football that we've seen. This is probably one of the best seasons that we will ever see from Mo Salah. Almost first season-esque. 22 goals and assists already this season. We'll talk about the stats a little bit, but I wanted to go in on that for a little bit, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. We're a Liverpool fan channel, Unconformed. We do this every single week, baby. So just tap into this thing. We're only getting bigger and bigger. Jump on the train right now. So let's talk about the game. Dibbling is a star. Let's be really honest about that. I think he's a star in the making. Maybe not a star just yet, but a star in the making. He has a very, very bright future. And was a lot of the times tormenting Andy Robertson, man. 18 years old. I can see a big side coming in, maybe a Tottenham or even a Chelsea. I heard that he was a former Chelsea trainee, or maybe I'm confusing him with another guy. But I think another team will come in and see the potential in that kid. It looks like he doesn't even wear shin pads, but was the source of all of the creative energy from Southampton. And I'd be amiss if I didn't bring him up and I didn't bring Fernandez up. He's actually very good as well, and played a very good game. In a difficult side, right? In a side that really didn't get much of the ball. I mean, Liverpool dominated that for huge portions of the game. I think they had 80% possession at some points in that second half. But Southampton really threw this one away, right? Their backline and their keeper were absolutely awful today. And I'll talk about, if this is another team, what would happen to this Liverpool team? We'll talk about that in a second. But Southampton definitely did give away a lot of goals, but let's be honest. I believe they only had like 2 shots on target the entire game against Liverpool's 20 plus. Okay. It's not like this was like a close match and we went life and death with this. The scoreline looks like we went life and death, but we actually did not, especially when you're considering how some of those goals came about, right? Arne will be happy with the result, but he probably won't be super happy with the performance, or maybe he actually will, right? And I know he's a really big stat guy, and I know he likes to look at the possession stats and things like that and duels won and things. I think he'll be very happy with the way that a lot of his team has performed today, especially that midfield, right? And to be fair, Liverpool dominated this match for the majority of the time, tripling pretty much almost every stat that Southampton has had. I'm going to throw the stat here on the screen right here, and you'll be able to see what the stats kind of look like overall, the XG, all the possession and all that stuff. It actually was not a very close competition when you actually look at it on paper versus what the score line and the result was. But these are the games you got to be careful in. And I said that in my last video. These are the games that you have to be very, very cautious when approaching, because anybody can win in this league at any time. And I said that yesterday about Tottenham and Man City, that you have to be on your A game. And I know Arne, he probably has learned from the last time out against Nottingham Forest, and then this time against Southampton. This will be another one that will probably live long in his memory, but you have to be up for it. It's an away game. It's dark. It's dreary, but you have to go get a result, especially if you are in a title charge and your opposition and your biggest rivals are dropping points, right? So let's talk about the goals. Szoboszlai goal. This is a prime example of overplaying the ball for no reason. Southampton shot themselves in the foot here, but it's a fine finish from Dominic Szoboszlai, who is back in a ton of confidence, and I love to see it. That Panenka goal has got him back to where he needs to be and was in contention for my man of the match. But his confidence is restored and dominated today in midfield with Ryan Gravenberch. The second goal, that pin, it's never a pin. Let's be honest. Michael Oliver, I don't know what he's looking at. I don't know what he's talking about. And I know he's had some questionable decisions for us in the past, especially that Doku kick in the chest on McAllister. And this is another one. And they tried to take this one away from us, but Mo Salah, the Egyptian king, worked harder and snatched it back, right? So I'll put the solid on there. I don't think it was a penalty. It was outside of the box. And from the angles that I saw, it actually looks like Robertson actually maybe got the ball first. But that's up for discussion. You guys let me know what you guys think. The Fernandez goal, right? He and Dibbling, again, were outstanding today. I think they're ones for the future. They're definitely 2 youngsters to keep an eye on. But that was the last shot on target that Southampton had for the rest of the game. Slot adjusted, and he was ruthless after that. Mo Salah. Outstanding vision from Ryan Gravenberch to feed Mo Salah in, and the vision from Mo Salah to see the on-rushing goalkeeper in just outside of the boot that into the back of the net and get the finish. And the comeback was on, man. He's world class. And the fact that Mo really wasn't involved for a majority of that game, to be able to continue to make those types of runs in behind I don't recall him touching the ball too much in that first half. A lot of the attacks were going through Ryan Gravenberch, and Ryan just kind of kept checking in on the right foot and trying to put crosses in, which wasn't working. But being able to keep that confidence going throughout the entire match and go and snatch 2 goals when you've been quiet and that's world class to me. That is the definition of a world class player, where you can be having maybe not the best game or a quiet game, and you can pop up and win the game for your team on the drop of a hat. That's Mo Salah. That's Mo Salah. And then the pin to slot it home, baby. Justice is served, right? 22 goal contributions already, and it's just November. Like, he could finish December maybe with 30. That's insane to even think about. And if he stays at this rate, he'll end the campaign on 60 goal contributions. It's actually kind of freaking ridiculous. Kind of freaking ridiculous. But a lot of people will say, on any other day, Liverpool lose to this side, or even lose to a better side. And okay, we can play that game as well. On any other day, this same side is getting 8 goals put past them. Mo Salah is going to have 4 of them on his own, and he probably should have had 4 today. And that's for any team, not just the Southampton team. If you, and you guys saw the stats there, if you put that stat line up against any other team in the Premier League, let alone a bottom of the table Southampton, you are going to run riot. The Southampton, I think, in my personal opinion, they got away with this one. And the scoreline was a lot closer than it probably should be. And I might be in the minority on that statement, but I truly believe it was complete and total domination by Liverpool, and the scoreline flattered Southampton versus vice versa, which I believe most people will probably say Liverpool struggled against Southampton. I don't think they did. I'm going to be honest. I don't think they did. And some fortuitous decisions that went in their direction, and a good goal from, manufactured by Dibbling and Fernandez. I won't take that away from them, right? But man in the match for Southampton, obviously it's Dibbling. For us, it's either going to be between Mo Salah, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch. So all 3 were outstanding today. And the 3 of them really just snatched these points from Southampton and willed this thing into existence. But if I had to pick, man, it's got to be Mo. It's got to be Mo. He's there when you need him. You call on him and he bails us out every single time. He shoots his bow. Now give him his dough. Give him his dough, FSG. You'd be a fool in letting this man go. He's winning matches on his own for Liverpool right now. But the 2 behind him, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, were outstanding today. Outstanding today. If Szoboszlai plays at this level consistently, and Gravenberch continues to progress into the best defensive midfielder in the league right now, this midfield is going to be insane for years and years to come, with Maka in there as well, who I already believe is one of the best midfielders in the world. The recruitment from Jurgen Klopp and Pep Linders has been absolutely aging like fine wine. So we're coming to this next week, right? What's next? We play Madrid and we play City at home. And some of you guys are going to be worried about this. And I'd be a fool to say that there's an opportunity where we don't get results out of this and we lose. And because they're still great teams. And I still think that class is permanent, right? Form is temporary. But they do look different. These sides are not the same sides that did trebles and won Champions Leagues last season. A lot of Man City have players missing and things like that. I'm not worried, mainly because they're coming to Anfield. And I think right now is probably the best time to play these 2. They are in probably some of the worst form that we've seen them in the past decade. Let's keep that in mind. In the past decade for both of these teams. Who would have predicted that coming into these 2 games in November, the City and the Real Madrid game, that we would be top of the league. We've only had lost 1 game. We'd be 8 points clear. And that these 2 giants would be coming off of 5 losses and 4 losses coming to Anfield. Who would have predicted that at the beginning of the season? And that's the key point that I want to kind of drill in and emphasize on this thing. I know it's just historically we've been Manchester City has been a certain way. They've been winning. Real Madrid has been a certain way. They've been winning and beating us. Both of these teams have. But thankfully, football isn't played in the past. Football is played in the present. It's played in right now. And I said this last season. Man City still have to go out and get a result against us. Madrid still have to go out and get a result against us. And then they have to continue to do that against other teams. And so do we. So to say that, it's only a matter of time before Man City start putting it together. It's only a matter of time before we start dropping points. It's only a matter of time before Madrid will bring us back down to earth. Just because it's happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen right now. Things have changed. We have a different manager. Same team, different manager. Different scenarios, different league. Man City don't look the same. Madrid don't look the same. These are different teams. And as LFC fans, we need to live in the now with Arne Slot. We need to live in the right now. And right now, Liverpool are one of the best teams in Europe and the best team in England. And if you don't believe that, let Arne Slot continue to prove you wrong over the next couple months. We'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this page. If you love what you hear, make sure you guys subscribe. Seriously, we're growing this thing. The next goal is to get to 5,000 subs and take this damn thing to the moon. Appreciate everybody who's already subscribed and anybody who's a member of the channel. You are amazing. Continue to do what you do. I love you. Appreciate you all. We'll see you on the next one. Up the fucking Reds. Always.